Mark 1. Built in the darkness of a cave in Afghanistan, this bulky gray armor wasn't a symbol of power yet. It was a desperate invention created by Tony Stark simply to survive. After being captured by the terrorist group known as the Ten Rings, Stark was ordered to build a missile. Instead, using scraps of metal from his own company's weapons and with the help of fellow captive Ho Yinsen, Tony built something far more dangerous. The Mark I was heavy, crude, and far from perfect, but it was brilliant. Powered by the very first miniature arc reactor, the suit ran not only Tony's heart electromagnet, but also a full set of weapons. Twin flamethrowers, a wrist-mounted rocket launcher, and thick steel plating strong enough to deflect gunfire. It couldn't fly like the later suits. At best, the Mark I could blast itself short distances using basic rocket boosters. But its true power wasn't in flight, it was in freedom. Using the suit, Stark fought his way out of captivity. And while Yinsen gave his life to buy Tony time, the Mark I carried him to safety. The armor was destroyed in the desert crash landing, but it served its purpose. It gave Tony a second chance. The wreckage would later fall into the hands of Obadiah Stane, inspiring the Ironmonger. But for Tony, the Mark I was more than just an escape machine. It was the spark. The proof that he could build something not to take lives, but to save them. From this crude shell of metal, Iron Man was born. The Mark II, Iron Man's first true prototype. Sleek, silver, and elegant, this was the suit that proved the dream of Iron Man could become a reality. Unlike the bulky Mark I, the Mark II was fully engineered in Tony's workshop, built with precision and powered by his miniature arc reactor. It introduced flight stabilization, advanced repulsors, and the first real heads-up display system. But it wasn't perfect. The Mark II suffered from a dangerous flaw. When flying at high altitudes, the armor's metal exterior would ice up, locking the suit and sending Tony crashing back down to Earth. Still, the Mark II was more than just a test. It was the blueprint. And from its success and its failures, Tony forged the next evolution of Iron Man, Mark III. After solving the freezing problem of the Mark II, Tony redesigned the armor with a gold titanium alloy, making it both durable and resistant to extreme conditions. He also introduced the now iconic red and gold paint scheme, a look that would define Iron Man for years to come. The Mark III was battle-ready. It carried shoulder-mounted missiles, wrist-mounted micro-rockets, and upgraded repulsors. For the first time, Iron Man had a suit that wasn't just for testing, it was for war. Tony deployed the Mark III in combat against terrorists, wiping out his own weapons that had fallen into the wrong hands. And it was the Mark III that clashed with Obadiah Stane's Ironmonger in the skies above Stark Industries. After the battle with Obadiah Stane, Tony needed a fresh start. The Mark IV was that upgrade, sleeker, smoother, and more refined than the Mark III. This armor improved on nearly every system. Stronger alloys, better repulsors, and improved energy efficiency from the arc reactor. It wasn't as experimental as the earlier suits. It was reliable. The Mark IV became Tony's everyday armor, a symbol of his new role as Iron Man. But even with this polished design, Tony was already pushing further, searching for innovation that could protect him in any situation. The Mark V was unlike anything before it. Known as the suitcase armor, it was designed to be portable, foldable, and ready at a moment's notice. Stored in a briefcase-sized container, this armor was slimmer and lighter than the others. It lacked heavy weapons, but it was perfect for emergencies. Tony first used it during a brutal ambush on a racetrack in Monaco, where Ivan Vanko, Whiplash, unleashed electrified whips of destruction. The Mark V saved Tony's life, proving that sometimes speed and portability mattered more than firepower. With the Mark VI, Tony made one of his biggest breakthroughs yet, the triangular arc reactor. This new energy source powered a stronger, more durable armor. The Mark VI came loaded with heavy artillery, upgraded missiles, repulsors, and flight systems. It was this suit that Tony used to fight against Whiplash and his army of drones. It was also the armor that carried him through his earliest missions with the Avengers initiative. Mark VII. When the Chitauri army invaded New York, Tony needed something fast, tough, and versatile. That answer was the Mark VII. Unlike earlier suits, the Mark VII could deploy automatically. It launched from a pod, flew through the air, and assembled around Tony's body in seconds. Armed with missiles, laser-guided targeting, and heavy repulsors, it was built for war. In the Battle of New York, the Mark VII stood tall alongside Earth's mightiest heroes, proving Iron Man wasn't just a lone genius anymore, he was part of something bigger. The Mark 42, or Mark 42, was his boldest experiment yet. This prehensile suit could fly in separate pieces and assemble around Tony from a distance. It wasn't just a suit of armor, it was a swarm of armor. But in practice, the Mark 42 was unstable, fragile, and unreliable. During the battle against Aldrich Killian and his extremist soldiers, the suit fell apart again and again. Still, it marked a turning point. The Mark 43 was an improvement over the flawed Mark 42. Sleek, stable, and powerful, this armor was everything the previous model should have been. It debuted during the Avengers mission against Hydra when Tony stormed Baron Strucker's base. The Mark 43 was also the armor Tony wore when he helped create Ultron, a decision that would haunt him. In the Battle of Sokovia, the Mark 43 stood against Ultron's army, holding the line to save the world from extinction. The Mark 44, known as the Hulkbuster, was co-designed with Bruce Banner. Built as a massive exoframe that attached to the Mark 43, it was engineered for one purpose: to stop the Hulk. When Banner lost control in Johannesburg, Tony deployed the Hulkbuster, Veronica, as he called it. With reinforced armor, hydraulic punches, and modular repairs on the fly, the Hulkbuster fought the raging Hulk blow for blow. The Mark 46 was the armor of Captain America: Civil War. More flexible than previous models, it was designed for speed, maneuverability, and precision in close fights. Tony wore it during the airport battle in Germany, clashing with his own teammates. And later in Siberia, the Mark 46 was pushed to its limits in the brutal showdown against Captain America and the Winter Soldier. By the time of Avengers Infinity War, Tony had taken his technology to its peak: the Mark L, the first true nanotech armor. This suit wasn't stored in pieces, it lived inside a housing unit on Tony's chest, deploying as liquid metal that could reshape itself instantly. With it, Tony could summon blades, shields, cannons, thrusters, and even wings on demand. The Mark L was more adaptable than any suit before it. Tony wielded it against Thanos on Titan, pushing his armor to its absolute limit. The Mark 85 was Tony Stark's final armor, the culmination of everything he had ever built. Introduced in Avengers Endgame, this suit combined the sleek nanotech of the Mark L with the durability and design of his earlier models. Its red, gold, and silver colors symbolize the entire journey of Iron Man. Tony used this suit to wield the power of the Infinity Stones themselves, defeating Thanos and saving the universe.